If he said there's difference between asking something from God and asking something from Satan. Said Satan will answer you instantly, but God, you have to wait, which is a wrong notion entirely. It means uncertainty because of past experiences. If we prayed to God for help before and did not get the answers, or we were told that God helps those who help themselves, we default to action instead of trust. Why is it hard to believe in the promise of God? It is hard to believe in the promise of the help of God because some see admitting that we need help from God as weakness due to pride. Ah, why should I say I need something? Why should I tell God I need something? Why should I ask God for help? It's pride. It is hard to believe in the help of God because of the wrong conception people have about waiting on God. Example, waiting on God makes people feel stuck while life keeps on moving. And then the brain, according to their opinion, the brain hates, waiting. But there are things that will help us in waiting. Because when we are dealing with God, when we ask God for things, He gives us various answers. Sometimes He's wait. Sometimes He answers immediately. Sometimes, He postpones the answer. So when the answer is wait, so there are things that will help us in waiting. So we should know some things about waiting. Number one, we should know that waiting isn't doing nothing. It is where we can grow. It is where patience, resilience, and clarity gets built. Another thing we should learn from waiting is that it is easier to wait on promises of God when we learn to trust Him for today's strength, today's peace, today's next step. So if we are waiting, we should trust God for, today, today. Faith needs action. By the time we will say we are exercising faith, and then we should apply for that job. We should reach out. We should pray. We should rest. So faith needs action. It is easier to wait when we understand that waiting does not mean that we are forgotten by God. Instead, we know that God is working in the background for us. It is hard to believe in God's promise of help because it involves trusting. The first one I told us, God's promise involves waiting. And then now I'm talking about trusting. It is hard to believe in God's promise because, it involves trusting. Trusting is choosing to believe to choosing to believe God is good, even when the evidence is not there yet. Trusting is a decision, it's not a feeling. Trusting is saying, I am still going to lean on God in spite of my feelings, in spite of doubt, in spite of fear, in spite of frustration, in spite of abuses. I'm still going to lean on God. Trust shrinks when we try to see the whole picture. As some people say, seeing is believing. So I want to bring a story to our attention. In Genesis chapters 37 to 41, Joseph had a dream. Joseph had a Joseph had a dream. He had a dream of the final P of his life. That is the palace, the pit, Potiphar's house, and the prison was not shown to him. Trusting means taking step one without demanding the rest of the map. Trusting is built on small things, You don't start trusting God with your biggest fear. You start with God. Help me with this conversation. God, give me patience in traffic. God, help me to be able to